Welcome back to another Universes Academy deck profile video. My name's Chris Smith, and I've been doing a set 2, kind of not like a deep dive, but every week I've been playing a different set 2 character at locals for at least 1 or 2 events, iterating on the deck as I go. These aren't finished products, so these are just more of like a locals level, like, I guess, locals level type deck. There are a few decks that I will iterate on more and come back to as the set 2 format evolves. One of those is like a Death Toga I'm working on. Don't know when I'm going to get to that one, but video wise, but I have been playing it and changing it up as needed. But this week we're going to go with Neito Monoma off of the good symbol. He is a very interesting character to where you get to steal your opponent's abilities, which is really neat when you hit them. So that kind of just led me into the good symbol, because the good symbol has some really good throws right now, and that can guarantee his once per game. So I guess I'll go over the event I played him in. It was a 3-round event at a locals. There was like 5 or 6 of us. I fought a Shoto 2, a Bakugo 2, and an Eraserhead. I went with ended with a 1-1-1 record, which kind of, I guess, fits the character, because he's kind of, 50-50 in a way, because if he doesn't touch anybody, he's kind of just that guy who goes 1 damage. Shoto 2 was great because when I hit him, I got to add range to anything with Monoma's ability, and then give stuff stun 2. And then, of course, I got to just go +2/+2 on any attack. And then I got to recycle my throws by adding them back to my hand via Shoto's ability. Bakugo, I really didn't do too much with it. I have a couple Fury attacks. I think I only got 1, actually, in Airstream Driver. So that's the only one that could get, like, +2. My attacks could get, I guess, +2 speed if I give them the Fury keyword. So that was pretty much it. So I destroy a committed foundation for +2 speed. Nothing as powerful, so that didn't really do anything. Eraserhead was a horrible, horrible matchup. He went first, built a bunch of bro hate, so I really couldn't touch him. Also, he never erased me, because as long as I didn't touch him, he didn't care. And then what am I going to do? Discard a card out of my hand for 2 speed or -2 speed? Yeah, it was a really bad matchup. So, like, maybe if I was on the all symbol, I would actually side some erases for that matchup, if that's a possibility. My sideboard is just a bunch of cards that I would like, a couple extra copies of. So maybe if I played the all version, I would actually fit that in. So let's go ahead and get into the deck. We'll start off with Monoma. He's an all good life character. The deck is off of good. It's a 6/26. He has a response once per game after your attack deals damage. Gain all the abilities on your rival's character for the rest of the game, which is fantastic. This ability cannot be canceled. Enhance your attack gains a keyword trait of your choice. If it gained taunt, this attack gets +1 damage. There was one game where I gave my attack taunt and it was perfect lethal, so it was kind of funny that I got to do that. Otherwise, it was just trying to synergize my opponent's character's like tribal trait, like ranged with Shoto, Fury with Bakugo. The deck does play a lot of punches, so it would be a few punches, so it'd be like punches if I copied like a Midoriya or whatever. But it was trying to just take advantage of him giving things punch, or Fury, or mostly this deck was mostly on punches, just because I got to use Gift from Mom on everything, so give extra damage. Pull no punches. Anything I could make a punch would just be able to snap to my momentum, and a couple copies of note taking allowed me to give speed onto some things. The real piece de resistance is the small limber play, where I could give anything charge, kick, or fury, and I could use that. That was also used as a turn extender by using self-sacrifice to extend my turns. But I think he has a really, really high maybe skill ceiling, just because every matchup changes, right? As long as you're not facing the same deck over and over again, every matchup changes. There's a new type of game. It's like a new board game to play every round that you face someone different, because the way you're going to go about attacking and enhancing will be completely different. So let's get into the attacks. We start off with, I'm going to actually sort these by difficulty. We're going to go from lowest to highest. We can start off with 4 copies of Hardened Jab, 3 copies of Hardened Jab, excuse me. 3 mid 5, 4 3 plus 1 high block, very good block. Enhance, everyone knows how this does. You get to build the face down and then add a face down. You add a face down from your stage and then build the face down. So if you don't have a face down, you get to straight build it, which is great. It allows you to go a little deeper on turns that you don't have any face downs. It also readies face downs that are committed to pass checks. All around solid card. And keeping with the meme or theme of the deck, we're playing 3 copies of Copy Harden, plus 2 high block that will be relevant later. 4 high for 3. It is a 4 difficulty 3 check. Breaker Slam. Breaker was really good. Slam didn't really matter. Add 1 foundation from your stage to your hand. This attack gets 3 damage. So if we wanted to get some extra damage, maybe we built an attack down with Hardened Jab. This allows us to reuse used foundations. One of the bread and butter attacks of the deck, Invincible Clasp, the 4-3, 3 high 3, plus 2 high block. Again, going to be relevant later. It's a throw. You lose 2 health, it gets 3 damage. So it's a 3 high 6, 3 high 7 if you give it taunt. Also can cancel a non-character enhance during this attack's attack step. Not too bad. It's a quirk pack card off the box topper, so it may be a little hard to get unless you buy a lot of boxes, or they're actually pretty cheap once the set's been out. Usually those quirk pack cards are pretty cheap. 4 copies of Back Alley Haymaker. If you're running Earth, Good, or Life, you are probably running 4 copies of this. This card is, I guess the kids call it cracked. It's a 4 mid for 5, 5 difficulty 3 check, plus 2 high block. Again, a lot of high blocks on our attacks. Enhance, draw card, charge, EX punch, stun 2. Draw 1 card or build 1 foundation with a printed difficulty of 0 from your discard piles. We are playing more than just 4 zeros, so we are going to be able to recycle in zeros from our discard pile or draw cards if we don't have any. This is a great opener. You can give it taunt. You can give it whatever. Like, one of the cool things was I played this, gave it range, so it had stun 4, which was pretty neat, and +2/+2. So it became a real beast of an attack later on in the game against Shoto. 2 copies of Airstream Driver, 5-3, 1 low block, 3 high 6, charge, Fury, Slam. Enhance, discard 1 card from your rival's card pool. This attack gets +3/+3, so obviously people like to block your stuff because they don't want to take full damage off of throws. They block a throw, you play this, you hit them for a lot of damage. Plus, it has a nice seal ability on an asset or foundation for a momentum. Now, the real beast of the deck, Facepalm Takedown. It's a 5 difficulty 3 check, plus 3 mid, block, 2 high 6, throw, combo, high block. So that's going to really play into the other high blocks. So basically, we could lead with any of these other 4 attacks, then play Facepalm to get this extra little bump of damage and stun. So combo enhance. If you've dealt damage this turn, this attack gets +2 damage and stun 1. So unfortunately, it's really only guaranteed if we hit them with Invincible Clasp, because Copy Harden's a mid and is usually blocked. And then, Hardened Jab is. And then Copy Harden's only a 4 high 3. And then it becomes like a 4 high 6, 7. More often than not, they're going to try to full block that, knowing a Facepalm Takedown's coming. But for the most part, if you play Back Alley Haymaker, stun them, put some speed on it if you're able to, that's usually going to hit. Invincible Clasp, going to be guaranteed activation of this enhance. We're not All Might, so we don't get the bottom part. But this ends up being a pretty nice attack at a 2 high 9 if we want to give it taunt. Or if we're able to give it Fury or Charge, we could use Small and Limber. We also have Harden to give an extra couple points of damage if we need to. Gift from Mom if we put Punch on it. There's ways to really pump this attack up if we need to. Going into our foundations now, we're going to go, we play 7 zero diffs. 4, it can't be fixed. It's a staple on any of these symbols. Stun Hate's always going to be relevant. It has a +1 high block for some reason. So it's always going to be in the, I believe this card will probably always be in the MHA format index on this symbol, unless something else comes out that just trumps this card, which I don't know how, because a stun free build or a committal free build, amazing. We got 3 copies of Recovery Girl's Kiss. Flip, gain one health. It's really fun when you start using this, flipping it, destroying it with self-sacrifice, then bringing it back in with Back Alley Haymaker, then grabbing an extra health. There are a few instances where you're going to need that 1 or 2 extra points. It kind of, as a 26 health character, your life is very precious, and you need to find a way to stabilize the bleeding sometimes. 2 copies of Resistance, staple from set 1, Stun Hate, DR, damage reduction, Breaker on block, which is really nice. And then, yeah, just we pack 2 more on the sideboard because stun is really, really relevant now. It's going to be one of the main kill conditions or game plans going forward, I believe, in set 2 format. Bonds of Friendship, this Fury attack gets -3 damage, 1/6, +1 high block, an insane block on a 1/6. Everyone knows this card. It's just too bad you can't give your opponent's attacks keywords, because if you give your opponent's attack Fury, that would be great. Maybe different versions of Monoma will have that. We'll never know until it happens. So, again, it's just a 3 copy, a 3 of, because not every deck's going to have Furies. 2 copies of Note Taking, a 1/5 +2 low, enhanced flip. We can make any attack in our deck punches. The ones that aren't punches, we can just give it 2 speed with this card. This may be one of those cards that we play more of going down the road, just because we can give punch to everything. I tried to get away from just playing a straight punch deck, and I wanted to mix some attacks in just to try different things, which I liked it a lot. It was a nice different, what's the word, mini game inside the game that my opponent does not know when I'm going to use this, so unless I call punch. So they have to always be prepared for extra speed. 3 copies of Self-Sacrifice. I believe this card will probably also always be around in the MHA format. It's a 1/5, 1 low. Great block. Destroy a foundation. Attack gets +1 or -1. Again, this combos really well with Small and Limber, because you can destroy a foundation and ready all your copies of Small and Limber to either further your turn offensively or defensively. 3 copies of Destined for Mainstream Success, another staple from set 1. Deck scouting's great. So if you don't want to check an attack, call attack. If you need a foundation for some reason and you don't want a 5 check on top, call foundation. 2 copies of High Value Target. I'm kind of iffy on this card. It's great that it counts as 2 as for passing blocks. But I guess it's more of a niche card. Like if you're going against Evil Gaze decks or like Shigaraki or anything like that. I guess this would come in handy. But it's always nice to have an extra foundation on top of a foundation. So, it's always great. My favorite set 2 card, Small and Limber, 4 copies, 1/4 +2 mid, enhance your Charge Fury kick. Attack gets +1/+1. Again, we can give any of our attacks these keywords, so this card's always live. Also, it has that great ready response that I love to take advantage of. I think this card is the best card in set 2. Back Alley Haymaker has a really good case, but I don't know. 2 copies of You're So Obvious. Damage resets are great. Speed resets are great. The 4 check's kind of poopy, but we live with it because it also has a low block and it saves our butt when we need it. 2 copies of Harden, another staple from set 1. Only 2 copies with one in the board. Oh, sorry, we have 2 copies of You're So Obvious in the board. So we got 2 copies of Harden in the board if we need more high blocks. This is a great block card. Block, next attack gets -2 damage, so some preserving our 26 health is always awesome. Plus it gives us extra damage on our throws. Gives it +2. It's too bad we can't give the word hardened into anything, because then it would get 3 damage and that would be insane. 2 copies of Gifts from Mom, plus 1, plus 3 damage for discard of a momentum. We can give our punch attack, we can give punch, the punch keyword, to any attack in our deck that doesn't have it already. I guess if you want to punch, I guess it's fine too. But yeah, it gives us extra damage on our throws, on our Airstream drivers, on our Invincible clasps, on our Copy Hardens. So it gives us a little bit of an oomph and a momentum usage because we don't really have any outside of Back Alley Haymakers EX. And Invincible clasps cancel. 3 copies of Passing the Torch. Drawing cards is good. And it's a 6 hand size, 26 health character. We definitely need all the cards we can get. 4 copies of Specials. The sound, again, no introduction needed here. You can reveal the top after you check. Gives -3 speed on response, which is still pretty much uninteractable at the moment. I think there may be 1 or 2 cards that can do that. Maybe. I don't know offhand. That'd be a really good list to look up. But yeah, it's a staple. 4 copies of her Dumb Face. It resets the speed and zone of an attack to block on block, so that's great. Also, we get to copy their best non-unique enhance ability. Foundation. All the enhances. So basically, it's our Dumb Face on a foundation, which is great. We got 2 copies of Pull No Punches with 1 on the board. We can give any of our attacks punch, so it just really synergizes really well. Cards that aren't in the main deck that I sideboarded on the off because I could not fit them because I was trying to keep the deck under 66 cards. I have 2 Taiyaki Fanatic. It's cancel, Deadlock Hate. It's great. And 2 ultra compressed Goku weights because we hate Froppy and anybody that likes to clear card pools for free. And it can tap and it can keep a problem foundation committed as long as it's committed. So deck's insanely fun. It's not really a meme. My buddy Church would definitely not call it a meme. But it's definitely one of those decks that you can just take it to locals, have a different game every game because your character will change. Unless everyone's running the same character, then that just makes for really, really boring locals. And I'm sorry for that. I'm probably not going to revisit him for a while. I do have an all list and a life list, which I'll go ahead and post all 3 lists in the description box of this video. So if you guys want to mess around with that. Also, I think next week, I'm going to do an All Might 3 update with set 2 video. Death Toga's on the board. I really want to mess with Tetsu for some reason. He seems kind of cool. But yeah, so we're getting there with all the set 2 characters and we're working on it. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to see me play do a deck profile on a set 2 character I haven't done yet, leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to check it out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or where you get your podcasts where available, I think. And that's all I have for this week episode of Deck Profile Spotlight. So have a good night, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.